just quickly, man. What were your thoughts after the game? What did you see? What were you, I suppose, positive about? You weren't impressed by? Just share your thoughts, bro, on the game against the Raiders on Sunday.
Yeah, man. Well, after the game, I was pretty deflated. I think you kind of lead up all preseason, all from the end of last year, and you're like, yeah, let's go. Like round one, we're gonna kill it. And it just seemed like the stage of the game was a bit too much for us.
Yep.
And also the defensive intensity from Canberra was a lot. Um, I think, like, obviously watching Starling, be there and be impactful in defense almost all game, and us kind of not having the punch back on that. Like the game was obviously touted as this big, through the middle. It's going to be a dog fight pretty much, and it was for a certain portion of the time, and then it just seemed that we almost got in awe of what Vegas is, and I mean that happens. That kind of thing does happen. So I loved the different sides the different sides of attack we're doing. I love that left side sweep. Obviously, if Metcalf plays short there, instead of all the way to RTS, it could be a completely different story. And yeah, I don't know. I think I would have liked to see more right side shape. That worked so well in the trial against the Storm. But to me, it felt like a little bit like we were trying to find space that wasn't there. We weren't making the space. We were just expecting it to be there. And on a field that is shorter in width
Yep.
and in length as well, you don't get that space. And Canberra did that really well. They played that really well.
Yep.
But, it was quite interesting to see like us the depth of our spread as well. Like I thought we were quite deep, which was quite interesting to see. But yeah, I don't know. It was disappointing, but there's some positives to pull out of it.
Yeah, what for you? What were some of those positives? Because you did, when you take a bit of a beating like that, 30-8, you immediately, and most people go to what went wrong. What were some positive performances that you thought came from the game?
Yeah, well, so first of all, I loved the left side with RTS and Pompey. I thought they worked really well together, and RTS was running hard, doing what he needed to do. Pompey was solid as usual. I think our two middles, our two captains, obviously played incredibly well, as they should, as they are expected to do, and also I loved seeing the glimpses of Egan jumping out of dummy half.
Yep.
Again, if there was someone supporting him there, I think that could have changed the game quite a bit. But Egan looked like he was getting out and ready to go, and ready to get a move on, and really attacking like in behind the markers, which was cool. Yeah, I love the young boys.
Yep.
They came on, and again, by the time they came on, the game was a bit dead, like dead and buried. But the way that Liquor and Demi kind of came through and still provided that impact was real impressive. And so those were kind of my like top 5-6 guys there.
No, that's nice, and it's a shame we saw glimpses and we didn't quite get all the best from the young guy, like in terms of time and opportunity. But yeah, there's definitely some bright lights to be seen. Just wanted to ask you, a big talking point and of argument is the forward situation. We'll be obviously choosing to put Clark on the bench and put Ford in the starting lineup. What was your reaction initially, and then do you think it was the right option, or do you think he did make a wrong call on putting Ford in that starting lineup?
To me, like, I don't think Ford was used effectively. He played well, like he got the stats, filled the stat sheet, but again, that's not exactly what we're looking for. That's
Yeah.
not we're not looking to fill the stat sheets. We're looking to win. And to me, him starting and playing 50 minutes was quite an interesting choice. He played the first 50 straight or something like that. When we could have had Aaron do that, and have Dylan come on with Aaron. Like Aaron's already established and on and ready to go, and Dylan coming on and through. I did think it was quite interesting. But obviously he's a guy that's reliable. Weeby loves him. And I don't know. I would have preferred to have the starting 13 as is, and maybe that give a little bit more time to Lecker and Demi. I don't know. I'm not sure where Ford fits in. Obviously he can play big minutes and he can tackle all day, but to me, I'm not sure if he exactly fits in.
Yeah, it just kind of screamed of like you need something else a little bit more attacking wise to try and generate some more energy. I always appreciate Ford's game, his work rate. He's typically, when he was with us, the best work we got out of him was in back row. When they moved him to forward the prop kind of middle forward, it wasn't the same impact, and that kind of frustrates me a little bit. You got the likes of a Bunty R4 who can do that role more efficiently, as one of those props. You got a few other options there. So it just kind of baffles, not fully baffles me, but it makes me think, why did Weeby do that? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, no, to me, like, if we needed a big minute edge, he's our guy. Like if say Capel went down tomorrow and we didn't think Lecker was ready to take that role, that's where Ford steps in most effectively for me. I don't think he, like you said, is someone that's like an impact player off the bench. I like the R4 shout, or even Tom Ale. These guys that can provide a punch off the bench, because we had to then pull Aaron to be that punch off the bench, and that's not his role. That's not how Aaron plays. And so I think using Walker with a like a Tom Ale or even a Demi, having Dimitrik in that role, I think at that point you go, okay, well, that's a bit more punch and that's a bit more exciting. And then obviously with Fish and Barney coming off at the same time, which was a weird thing for me, having them both come at the same time. I don't know. I think they could use that rotation more effectively and maybe extend one of them out 5-10 minutes more, and then have that impact player after Walker comes on for the first one of them, have that impact player come on and really cause some havoc.
I totally agree with you.